The Dallas Cowboys are set to face the Green Bay Packers in the wildcard round of the 2024 NFL playoffs. With Dallas claiming the 2 seed, that means Green Bay is headed to Arlington, Texas, where the Cowboys are their best, both offensively and defensively. But for this video, I want to take a look at the Cowboys offense, how they can take advantage of a poor Packers secondary, how they can get CeeDee Lamb going, and what we should expect from the ground game on Sunday. So, let's get into the video. The 2023 Cowboys have been an offensive juggernaut at home, with Dak Prescott leading the way. At AT&T Stadium this season, Prescott has 22 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions, with a passer rating of 120. Here are the Cowboys' point totals from their home games this season: 20, 33, 41, 45, 49, 43, 38, 30. Averaging out to 37.37 points per game. With Dak playing so well at home, so is his number one receiver. In Arlington, CeeDee Lamb has 73 catches for 955 yards and 8 touchdowns. The air attack has been deadly, but where Dallas has struggled, whether that be at home or on the road, has been the ground game. Tony Pollard is averaging just 4 yards per carry on the year, 3.8 at AT&T Stadium. They just haven't ran the ball well, whether that be poor play from the offensive line or the running back group. I think it's a good combination of the two. Luckily for the Cowboys, I think their offensive play style matches up pretty well with the Green Bay Packers, with that matchup favoring Dallas. First, let's look over where the Packers rank amongst the NFL in defense. 17th in yards per game given up, 11th in passing yards per game, 19th in yards per attempt per play, 29th in first down percentage. All of those numbers, although it doesn't paint the entire picture, tell you that this is a pretty average to below average defense. Although the Packers rank 11th in pass yards per game, I believe a lot of their struggles have come from the secondary. Outside of Jair Alexander, PFF has the Green Bay corners rated at 87th out of 128, 94th, 97th, and 83rd. Not great, because a lot of the times the box score numbers don't give you the entire story. The Packers might have been down big in one game, so their opponents were rushing the ball more, or vice versa. So although they're 11th in passing yards given up, that doesn't necessarily mean they're close to a top 10 defense against the pass. The matchup everyone's going to be talking about leading up to this game is Jair Alexander versus CeeDee Lamb. And I hate to break it to all of you, but I doubt we see a ton of that one-on-one matchup, whether that's the Packers giving safety help over the top or the Cowboys moving Lamb around during the game. That's the good news about CeeDee Lamb. He has the flexibility to move all across the line. Line him up on the outside, line him up in the slot, put him in the backfield. But I do believe, even if you don't want to move him around a ton, he can still beat Jair one-on-one. I rewatched the 2022 game for the Cowboys and Packers, and although it was Kellen Moore calling the plays for this offense, I found this little offensive wrinkle with Lamb catching a pass out of the backfield and getting a big score on the goal line. Plays like that is what Dallas is going to need if they want to get CeeDee Lamb the ball in creative ways. In 2022 versus the Packers, Lamb faced off against this Packers secondary, racking up 15 targets, 11 catches, and 150 yards with 2 touchdowns. Most of those weren't against Alexander because the Packers didn't let him travel with Lamb to the slot. So I don't expect them to do that in this game either. So that means CeeDee has more favorable matchups in the slot. Get him lined up against some of these corners that are a bit shaky in coverage, and you have a giant upper hand. If you're wondering, yes, I am once again making a video to ask Mike McCarthy to not make this harder than it has to be. CeeDee should easily have 13 or more targets in this game. I'd even push it to say 15 plus targets. At the end of December, Bryce Young had 312 passing yards with 2 touchdowns and no interceptions against this secondary. There should be no reason to think that the Dak and CeeDee connection shouldn't be able to tear this team apart. To add to the challenge of stopping the Cowboys, the Packers' better defensive back, Rudy Ford, who picked off Dak twice in that 2022 game, was placed on IR just a few days ago. So he won't be playing in this game for the Packers, making a pretty weak secondary even weaker. What killed Dallas in those 2022 matchups were the interceptions. Like I mentioned, Dak had 2. There was one down near the goal line on a miscommunication and another on a seam route to Lamb that was picked because of miscommunication as well. This weekend, the Cowboys cannot afford to give this team 3 possessions, because I have no doubts that the Dallas offense will easily move the ball, but throwing interceptions down on the goal line and giving the Packers the ball will get you beat. The reason I'm so set on attacking this team through the air is because the Cowboys just haven't been good on the ground. They haven't been consistent enough and shown us that they can run the ball efficiently. Regardless of where the Packers rank against stopping the run, which is pretty low, I have little faith that Dallas can take advantage of it. With that being said, don't completely abandon the run. Green Bay ranks 28th in rushing yards per game given up, 26th in defensive rushing attempts per game, and 23rd in yards per carry given up. So the idea of running the ball isn't completely thrown out the window. You have an opportunity to run the ball, but do not make it a focus. Because if you go into this game thinking you're going to punch Green Bay in the mouth on the ground and then you can't, you're going to be in big trouble. Make Green Bay respect both of them. But this whole establishing the run thing, don't do it. Throwing the ball is going to offer you more explosive plays and give Dallas a chance to jump out to an early lead, which is where this team is their best. But tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. What should the Cowboys' game plan be going into the wild card round? Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. More Cowboys versus Packers videos are coming this week. I love you all. Bye.